Traditionally, when most people think about YouTube monetization, they think about AdSense monetization, which means that you want to create content first for your YouTube channel. Then you want to let YouTube run ads on your content. And then when you finally reach certain monetization standards, YouTube is going to pay you 55% of ad revenue. And those certain monetization standards, of course, are reaching 1,000 subscribers and getting 4,000 hours of watch time on your channel in 1 year before YouTube is going to give you that AdSense. Now, the problem with AdSense is that, first of all, it is a very unstable source of income. It can wildly fluctuate from month to month. And you need about 200,000 to 2 million views per month to even make $1,000 on YouTube. So it is not very conducive to earning a full-time stable income from your channel. And then, of course, there's the limitation factor of you need to reach 1,000 subscribers first. So what you're doing is you're really limiting yourself and you're saying, well, I can't earn money from my channel until I reach this milestone. Well, fortunately, there is a better way. You actually don't need to wait to reach any milestones on YouTube to start earning money from your channel, but it does require a complete 180 mindset shift. And you need to really think about YouTube monetization from a very different perspective. And I will say that this strategy that I'm going to share today in this video with you is something that my client Charlene used, for example. And she only had, get this, 3 videos and 8 subscribers on her channel before she made her first $1,000 with YouTube. So it's absolutely doable. So I mentioned that you're going to need to make some mindset shifts. So let's get into it. There are 2 specific mindset shifts that I want you to make at the beginning of this journey. First of all, I don't want you to think that you need to monetize your channel. You don't need to monetize your channel. You need to monetize your videos. A stark difference between the 2 ways of thinking. And the second mindset shift that I want you to have is, do you want to work for YouTube or do you want to let YouTube work for you? Because when you are creating content for YouTube, guess what? You're working for YouTube. You're feeding them content, right? You're feeding the platform. You're giving the algorithm what it wants, but you're also kind of becoming a slave to the algorithm, right? Instead, what I want you to think about is how can you make YouTube work for you rather than you working for it? So those are the 2 mindset shifts going into this strategy. So now let's get into the strategy. By the way, I will say that I have a free training that dives into this strategy a little bit deeper than this video is going to. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to share that right at the end. So to get into this strategy, I'm going to introduce to you my triangle method. Now, inside the triangle is who you want to attract as your ideal client. So let's say that I'm going to take an example that I have seen working a lot on YouTube. We're going to use the example of a relocation coach. So let's say you're a relocation coach who helps people move from one country to another, maybe an expat coach or an immigration coach, whatever you call yourself, right? And so in the center of the triangle, what you're going to put is your ideal audience. Who do you want to attract? So let's say you want to attract American retirees who want to move to Portugal, and you put that in the center of your triangle. Now, as we move out, the next stage, the 3 sides of the triangle are the 3 biggest challenges that that audience faces. So let's think about it. What are the 3 biggest challenges that your ideal audience is facing? So if you are a relocation coach, perhaps one of the biggest challenges your audience is facing is that they don't know how to apply for a visa to move to Portugal, how to immigrate, what is the process? So that could be one big challenge. The second biggest challenge could be, well, cost of living. How much do I need to be able to afford? And how much do I pay in taxes? So cost of living for moving to another country, in this case, Portugal. And the third biggest challenge might be, well, I don't know what city or neighborhood to move to. So those are the 3 big challenges that they might be facing. And so you're like now thinking, okay, this is the ideal audience I want to attract. These are their big 3 challenges. Now we move outward into the triangle. And what you want to do is identify your solutions, your process, and your methods to help them overcome their challenges. So step 1 of this process is your video playlists. So for example, for the for the challenge of, well, how do I apply to move to Portugal? Maybe you want to have an entire playlist of videos, which is called How to Apply to Move to Portugal, and so on for the other two challenges. Now, inside each of these playlists, you're going to be creating videos that are very targeted to your methods and your specific process for how you help people. So let's use an example. Taking one section. So let's say your section is how to apply to live in Portugal. And the first way that you help people is to give them a step-by-step outlook of these are the steps you're going to need to complete, let's say within the next 6 months to apply to move to Portugal, right? And so you could have a video on here's the step-by-step process that American retirees would need to follow to move to Portugal. And then what you would do typically at the end of sharing that process is you would have something like a lead magnet, which would give them a checklist that they can download and sort of check through that, okay, these are the steps that I need to complete. That checklist becomes your call to action. Say after the video, they download the checklist. So now they are in your email list and you have a one-to-one conversation with them. And then you can make them an offer to perhaps book a paid consultation call with you as a relocation coach. And they would pay you good amount of money to be able to do that, because now you have positioned yourself as an expert. Hey, I'm a relocation coach. I can help you relocate. You're my target audience. You are exactly the kind of person who I help. Here's a checklist of things you need to do. So you're enabling them to do some of the process themselves. And here's how you can book a call with me to have a consult and work through all the questions that you might have. And so that moves you very, very fast from creating one single video to getting clients who are willing to pay you. It puts you back in the driver's seat. It puts you in control. No more need to wait for YouTube monetization to kick in. No more need to wait for 1,000 subscribers. All you need to do is make sure that your ideal audience is finding that video. And they will, because the video is so targeted, right? So anybody who wants to move to Portugal is searching for exactly that kind of content. And if they're a retiree, then they would be your perfect ideal audience. They would watch your video, maybe a series of your videos on this topic, and then they would be like, hey, they offer paid consultations. Let's book a call with them. So they move very, very fast from watching a video to downloading your lead magnet to booking a paid call with you, whereby you earn money from a very small channel from your first video. So the process that I just took you through is exactly what happened with my client, Charlene, for example. She was a crypto tax specialist, strategist for Canadians, right? And she created these 3 videos on her channel exactly following this kind of authority video process. And she said to me that he clicked the video and watched it on YouTube. And he said the video convinced him that I was the right person he needed to contact ASAP and start the work. The estimated contract value for his work is $1,000 from the one video. I know video works, and the right videos can bring in high-ticket clients that are ready to work with you. And so really what this strategy is doing for you is, if you are thinking that, oh, I'm a small channel right now, I haven't built up enough credibility right now, who's going to offer me money to work with me just yet? I'm not sure I can do this with a new channel with I don't even know how this works. Well, then I have got the perfect free training for you to watch. It's called, If I Wanted to Make $1,000 a Month from a Small YouTube Channel, Here's What I Do. So I'll link it here in the end card and also down in the description below. Let me know if this video was valuable for you, and are you going to now be thinking about how you can monetize your channel before reaching YouTube's monetization requirements. I'd love to hear from you. Sound off in the comments below if this caused a mindset shift and helped you. And I will see you in the next video.